So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just get the level. So you can just stay back where you are and just talk, and I will make sure that the microphones work for you. How's that? Go for it. So just talk.
Hello?
Again.
Does that work?
A little bit more.
Does that work now?
Oh, that's great. Stephen, would you talk?
Check, 1, 2, check.
Stephen was Dracula.
Yeah, something like that.
Are you ready, legit? Okay, ready? All right, I'm gonna count you down. You want to put your phone? Oh, it's already. Oh, it's screaming. Wow, you guys are heavy. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, hello and welcome back to another installment of the Rock Out Loud podcast. I'm your host, Stephen, and today I am joined by
Lucy.
All right. Yes.
Hey, Goose!
For those of you who do not know or have never been around Lucy before, you're really missing out. But she's definitely quite a rock star around here. She's involved in a lot of our concerts. She does a lot of our concerts whenever she gets a chance. And she's also just an all-around great singer, great performer, and just great person overall. So, Lucy, today we're going to have a little conversation about who you are so that the audience can get to know you and get to know a little bit more about you. So, I'll give you an opportunity before we even start with questions or anything like that. Tell me anything about yourself, just like an interesting fact.
Well, when I started to like music, it was when I heard my first song.
Do you remember what song it was?
No, what was it?
That's okay. That's okay. Hey, I mean, usually it does start with listening to your first song, right? I bet you'll remember someday, and then you'll be able to have a nostalgic concert moment where you sing your first song again. Okay, so I'll give you an easy one, easiest one of the night. How old are you right now?
8.
8 years old, and you have already performed at the House of Independence. You've performed at our open mics. You're way ahead of where I was when I was 8 years old, so you've already got a lot of experience under your belt. And you've been singing for how long?
7 years.
7 years. So you started at 1 year old. Wow, that's very impressive, and it's awesome to hear. Okay, so good. It's good to know because a lot of people have varying, they start at different ages and they start at different times in their life. Obviously you're a rock star vocalist, but do you sing do you play any other instruments, or are you involved in any other types of music?
Well, I do piano.
Yes, we do piano in our lessons sometimes. And how long have we been doing that? Maybe a couple weeks, maybe?
Couple months.
Couple months? Yeah, probably something around like that. Now, what kind of piano experience do you have? Do you have a piano at home?
I have a piano at home.
Yeah, and then obviously we play here. Is there anyone else in your life that plays piano that you've been around?
My grandpa.
Your grandpa plays piano. What kind of stuff does he play?
Well, he plays by ear, and anything he hears, he can play.
Awesome. And I think we've done a little bit of that too. We've practiced trying to do that in our lessons. It takes a lot of practice, but it's a great skill to have. So we'll keep working on that. And are there any other instruments that you're interested in learning?
Guitar, probably.
Guitar at some point? What have you, like electric guitar, like shred, or do you want to play acoustic guitar?
Shred.
You want to shred? Okay, perfect. Well, maybe we can do some of that sometime. That sounds pretty good to me. Shredding's much easier than it looks, so we can definitely get into some of that. So tell me, Lucy, how long have you been coming here to Rock Out Loud?
I'd say I actually don't know.
If you had to guess, maybe like a year and a half, maybe, or less.
I'd say 3 months.
Oh, 3 months now? Oh, okay. Okay, cool. All right. I wasn't sure because I've only had you for about 3 months, so I didn't know if it was maybe a little bit more than that. So.
Well, actually, it was 6.
6 months. Okay, yeah. So I think I've had you for about maybe 4 or 5 of those. So that's cool. That's great. Now, tell me a little bit about yourself before you came here. Were you studying music somewhere else, or were you just doing music at school? How were you before Rock Out Loud?
I was good first grade, I had a music teacher. His name is Mr. Thomas.
Okay. And how did you find that experience? Were you as excited to go to music in first grade as you are now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the passion was always there. Perfect. So in your school right now, what kinds of things are you still involved in, like the music programs at your school?
Mm-mm.
No, there's like
I'm homeschooled.
Oh, okay, yes, okay, perfect. So are there any sorts of ways that you can sort of go about practicing music at home, despite being like homeschooled?
Sometimes I sing by myself.
Yeah, okay, that's awesome. I mean, that's about as good as you can do, which is like totally fine. Most people, when they're practicing, they sing by themselves. Would you be interested at any, like, some point, maybe in the future, maybe joining like a choir or something?
I want to join a play one day and be part of a music thing.
You should totally do
like
that.
a musical.
Yeah, I know we've done a lot of songs from musicals in our lessons before. I know we've done Phantom. What else? Anything else?
No.
I think we did maybe a little bit of Hamilton at some point. But yeah, you should totally get involved in musicals. Musicals are a great way to get involved with like a music kind of collaboration, and talk to a lot of people and meet people. So I would definitely urge you to do that if you're interested in that kind of thing. Okay, so you've done open mics, you've done a little bit of music here and there, you practice music at home, you come here, you do our lessons every week, you've performed at the House of Independence. What has been the biggest thing so far? What has really stuck with you?
Probably performing at the show.
Yeah, the House of
where I
Independence.
first met Dakota.
Yeah. Walk me through that experience. What was that like?
I was really nervous at first.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And so you were nervous like going into it, right?
Yeah.
She didn't want to go on stage. Remember? You didn't want to go on stage.
Yeah, a lot of stage fright. Happens to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Happens to me even now a little bit. So then walk me through like what was the day like, right? Because you were getting ready to go, and then you get there. What's the first thing you're thinking?
Am I gonna do bad? Am I gonna mess up? If I mess up, will I get booed at?
All right. Well, I promise you, no one is gonna boo you. Even if you do mess up, people usually don't know, and even if they do, they're not gonna boo you. So then you show up. It's a big place, right? It's a big stage. You're showing up there for the first time. This is like your first like big performance. So what was backstage like, right? Because you got to meet a lot of people. You got to sort of hang out backstage and see what that was like. What was that like for you?
It was fun.
Yeah. Tell me a bit about it.
Well, it was fun. Got to hang out with a lot of teenagers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people older than you. Okay, that's pretty cool. And did you meet a lot of new friends that you still talk to now?
Yeah.
Yeah. And were they nervous too?
No.
They were not?
Well, one of them was. I think her name was Lindsay.
Lindsay. Maybe that could have been. But that's good. It's always nice to have people backstage that you can talk to and sort of get you a little bit less nervous. So you were there, nervous, backstage, a little nervous, but you're talking to people now. What was it like the moment you got on stage?
Just happy, I guess.
Yeah.
Happy and nervous.
Happy and nervous. So you're still a little nervous, but that's okay. That's normal. So when you were on stage, this is I think about this sometimes because I know that me personally, I do not make eye contact with anyone in the audience. I try to, but for the most part, I'm just kind of playing. I'm kind of doing my thing. I'm still trying to interact with my band members, but I'm not exactly like concentrating on the fact that there's an audience there. Did you find yourself looking at the audience a lot? Yeah? Like direct eye contact?
Yeah.
And did you see your family? Yeah? Right from the start?
No, I saw them like halfway through.
And they were definitely cheering you on, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. It's always great to see. And then what about right after?
Well, after the thing?
right after you got off stage, what were you thinking?
I felt happy. I was like, hey, I
You
can
jumped
do
on me.
this.
You jumped on me and hugged me. Remember? It was
Lot of
awesome.
excitement.
You were like, I did it. Right? It was great.
A lot of emotions.
Yeah.
And so then you got to go out and talk to your family, talk to all those people that saw you on stage absolutely kill it.
Mhm.
I heard so many people come up to me afterwards and be like, who was that girl that was singing, what was it? What was that song?
Like 182.
Yeah, what was the, I can't remember the song.
What did she scream down? What did you scream down?
Works.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the crowd went crazy.
Yeah. So many people came up to me afterwards and they're like, who was that? I was like, that's my student Lucy. She's awesome. She's a rock star. So you are a little famous, you got a lot of notoriety around here. Hopefully even more. Because people also know you from the open mics, because that's a great place to come and meet new people. So, you've done that. That was a lot. What goals do you have for yourself still?
Well, like I said, I want to be in a play one day, a musical. So that's one of them.
That's a good goal. What else do you have?
I kind of want to be with, I kind of want to make my own band.
Yeah.
Like Motionless in White, but it's Screamo and I'll call it like my own thing.
Okay. That's a good idea. I like that. So when you think about this like future band, right? You're singing lead vocals, right? Are you doing anything else? You don't have to.
Play guitar.
Play guitar? Okay, so you're shredding?
Shred.
Yeah, you're shredding. You're shredding, and you're also, belting your lungs off. And so this is like a screamo group? Okay, that's awesome. I think that you could definitely do that. I think that you could also do that with people that you meet here. That's a lot of good connections to have. So then, what's the goal with that group? Do you want to play live shows? Do you want to record things?
Live shows, and
The whole 9 yards?
yes.
Okay, perfect. Live shows, Madison Square Garden, everything. You're playing the Super Bowl. You're set. Okay? All right, sounds good. I think you should definitely keep working at that. And if you ever want to do something like screamo or anything like that in our lessons, we totally should. And you should talk to people. Talk to people that play drums. Talk to people that play keyboards, and try and see like, hey, you want to join a group? 9 times out of 10, they probably will. So, never hurts to ask. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of a weird question, being as I'm the one asking it to you. But answer honestly. There's no pretend I'm not even here. What is it like to work with your coach, me?
Very great, actually.
Surprisingly great.
You're
Okay.
very kind, you're very sweet, calming.
Wow. Should be a therapist.
That's a 5-star review.
It is.
Okay. Thank you, Lucy. It's you always make my day working with you. It is always such a pleasure. I come in and you know exactly what you want to do. You've got, even if you don't know exactly what song, you always have like an aim, right? You always want to play piano, you always want to sing, and you always have such a positive attitude, which is a great thing. You have never, I don't think a single time, come in and just like, no, I'm not really feeling it today, right? You've always had such a good positive attitude about it, and I commend you for that, so great job. That's a great quality to have. Okay, so if you could pick one singer or artist or band or anything that you want that has been a great influence for you, what would you say?
Probably, I would say maybe Flyleaf.
Okay, Flyleaf. You can pick more than one. We got Flyleaf, what else?
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
Ooh,
Oh.
good. Rest in peace.
Any others?
I would say probably Janis.
Janis Joplin, yes. I picture you as like a young Janis Joplin, just because like you've sung so many Janis songs in our lessons, and I'm just like, you do it so well. Like you really get like her spirit when you sing. So that's awesome. And now Can you tell me a little bit about them? What's your favorite Janet song?
I would say Mercedes-Benz and Down on Me.
Yeah, those ones, you kill those ones every time. If you have not had a chance to hear Lucy perform either of those songs, you're really missing out because she sounds great with them. So try and make it out to an open mic or something because she sounds really great with those and everything else. But it's like I feel like I think of that as your signature. Okay, and then what about what's your favorite Meatloaf song?
Painted Black.
No, wrong.
The Stones.
That's the Stones.
Well, I would do anything for love.
Okay.
That's a great song.
That's a great song. That's a great pick. And Meatloaf's a good pick too. Not a lot of people, not a lot of 8-year-olds would come in and say that one of their favorite artists is Meatloaf. So that's awesome. Okay, now what about Flyleaf? Favorite song?
I'm So Sick. That's the one she screams in.
Okay, I'll have to check that one out. I don't think I've heard that one, but I'll have to check that one out. Cool, awesome. All right, now this is a broad question, so you might want to take some time to think about it. But you said you've been singing since you were 1, right?
Yeah.
So
I've been trying to sing since I was 1.
trying to sing since you were 1, and I would say succeeding.
Mom has a video of me trying to sing a PJ Masks song.
That's funny. So then, how do you think, because you're friends with people that don't sing, right? So then, how would you say that singing has sort of changed your life? Obviously, it's been with you forever, but what kinds of things do you feel like you appreciate more, or things that you have been affected by singing?
Well, I like that everyone likes that I sing, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's a simple answer, but it's also it's just true, right? Because then you get to talk about it with people, and people are like, oh, you performed at the House of Independence? That's insane, right? How did any other friends react to that? The fact that you literally were on stage just performing in front of 100 people.
Well, when I told my friend, she was kind of like, oh wow.
Oh wow. And then were there any family members that you were telling about it afterwards, and they were just or they probably watched videos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad's side of the family, my mom's side of the family.
And what was their reaction?
My dad's side of the family said, wow!
Wow. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's what everyone in the audience was saying. Everyone was saying, wow, that girl is amazing. That girl is so talented. Okay, so have you been to any other music schools in the past?
No.
No, nothing else in the past? Okay, so then, what do you think, if you had to pick, what's the best thing about coming here to do music?
Hanging out with you, I would say.
Oh. Thank you. That's one of my favorite things. Getting
And the
out with
open mics.
And the open mics, of course. And we have another concert coming up that will definitely feature you. I think you're doing 2 songs, right? Yeah. Look out for Lucy in our upcoming Little
That's
Rockers.
a great band name. Look out for Lucy.
Look out for Lucy. That is a great band name.
Wow.
Maybe that's the future Screamo band name.
That's a great name.
Look out for Lucy. Keep that in mind. Somebody write that down.
Yeah.
So look out for Lucy in our upcoming Little Rockers concert on February 20th, right? And it's in Staten Island, so that'll be a lot of fun. How are you feeling about that one coming out? Are you nervous at all?
I'm good, actually. I'm a little nervous, kind of shake it off.
Yeah, shake it off? Because now you've already done it, right? You've already done it once. So how would you feel going into this one versus how you were going into the last one?
Great, actually.
Great. Yeah, I mean, I've actually never, the House of Independence I was at before because I've played there as well, but I've never been to this next venue, so we'll both be seeing it for the first time, so it'll be a lot of fun. Okay, and then do you have any, when you're older, much older, and you don't have to think super hard about this, but what do you think you want to be right now, other than a singer?
A book doctor?
A book doctor. So.
No, a bug doctor.
Oh, a bug doctor. Okay. There's a word for that I can't remember right now.
Me neither.
I can't remember.
I can't.
And
Entomologist.
There we go. Yes. Okay. Yes. Entomologist. What makes you want to be a bug doctor?
I'm just so into bugs.
What's your favorite bug?
Maybe a wasp or a grasshopper.
Those are good picks. I would say I'm particularly fond of a praying mantis myself. I just think they're really cool. But that's cool.
Because a wasp reminds me of a Pokemon.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
I can't remember what it's called.
So then, ideally, you want to be a singer and a bug doctor.
Yes.
Entomologist, of course. Awesome. That sounds like a good goal to me. So those are two very open career paths, right? I like that. Okay, so now here's one of the last questions that I'll ask you. Is there anyone in your life right now that it could be family members, it could be friends, doesn't have to be people in this room, it can be people in this room, just anyone in general that you want to thank and just, thank for support along the way?
Everyone in the room.
Everyone in the room. Anyone that's not in the room?
My grandpa, my grandma, my aunt, my
Okay.
pets.
Your
All of
pets?
my pets.
Pets give support. Pets deserve to be thanked. Anyone else?
I'd say my dad's side of the family too.
Okay, awesome. Anyone else?
Everyone who watched me on stage.
Nice.
I'd say thank you for supporting me, people.
Thank you.
I love ya.
Awesome. All right, Lucy. Well, that concludes all the questions that I had for you. Do you have any questions for me?
Well, what songs did you sing?
What songs did I sing?
Yeah.
For when?
The open mic.
Oh, the open mic. I think I performed at the first open mic.
No, I meant the House of Independence.
Oh, the House of Independence. Okay, so at the House of Independence, I actually played bass because I'm primarily a bass player. So that's what I did there. And then when I played there, I was doing mainly original songs. So it's pretty cool. Thank you for the question. All right, this concludes this installment of the Rock Out Loud podcast with Lucy and your host Steven. Look out for Lucy in our upcoming.
Lucy. I love that band name.
Look out for Lucy in our upcoming Little Rockers concert on February 20th, and in all future open mics and other concerts.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right. That's a great band name. The stage is ginormous in this place. It's like this high, and it's ginormous. It's a beautiful hall. That was a great podcast, a great interview. You're getting really comfortable up here.